Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the segment on YouTube where I get to release my inner demons, let the dogs out and start getting really berated and angry at stuff, you know, and I'm the kind of person who gets angry very easily. There are many things that stress me out, you know, and I'm a very honest person. I like to make an honest living, so I'm very, you know, passionately aggravated by people who are dishonest, you know, people who cheat, you know, whether it be by lying to people or manipulating them or, I don't know, stealing money or just committing crimes in general, you know, people like that to me are the scum of the earth, and I really hate it when people are dishonest, disloyal, especially to so many different people watching them at once, you know. And today I'm gonna tell you guys a story. You know, I don't think a lot of people, like maybe a lot of you watching this video might not know about this, you know, because in my research and my time looking it up, it seems like the general reaction was that many people don't even know about this, you know. Why did the camera shake? Sorry, it's because I smacked my tripod. I hope I didn't change the position there. But anyway, so I'm going to be telling you guys the story about Rosie Ruiz. Rosie Ruiz is quite an interesting woman, you know. She was born, you know, in a poverty-stricken part of Cuba, you know, a long time ago with a population of 2,500 citizens. You know, it's a very small town, you know, a very poor place. I'm sure she and her family didn't have much to eat growing up, you know. And one day, to be on April 1st, 1980 to be specific, you know, funny because it happened on April Fool's. Kind of makes sense, actually. Maybe the whole thing was just an elaborate prank and we just don't know it, you know. So Rosie Ruiz decided to join the Boston Marathon. You know, she wanted to run and fulfill her dream of winning this gold medal, you know, winning this very prized event that so many people just, you know, a lot of people want to win the Boston Marathon, you know, and it makes sense for you to want to give yourself this kind of recognition, you know, and it makes sense. It makes sense, guys. You know, I can understand you, like a Joe Nobody coming from a very small part in the world and wanting to impress people, your family, your friends, and win something for your country. So she joined the Boston Marathon, and then get this, she won. That's right, folks. She won the Boston Marathon, and in record time, I might add, she actually finished it in 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 56 seconds, which was up until then like a world record. Like nobody had even come close to beating this, you know. And also she was a woman, so, you know, it was at a time where women were looked upon as very inferior beings, you know. So this was such an extreme, you know, victory for women everywhere and feminism and all of these things, you know. And she was officially declared the winner, you know. She crossed the finish line, you know. And I'm gonna show you guys a few photos now of her at the finish line celebrating with all of her ribbons and her crown and all of that stuff, you know. Take a look right here. Pretty impressive, huh? You know, a random woman who came from a very impoverished part of Cuba, you know, a very small town, had never done anything in her life, suddenly won the Boston Marathon, which is something that takes, you know, months, maybe even years of training and physical exercise and endurance, you know. But then a few things started to not quite add up very well, you know, because in marathons there are certain terminologies like intervals and splits, you know, and when she was asked about these, she, like me, had no idea what they meant. You know, I don't know what intervals and splits are, but they're marathon terminology, if you guys understand about that, you know. Like whatever they asked her, she seemed to kind of answer in a very strange way, you know. Like she would be asked about what it was like to pass a certain stretch of the, like for example, passing a college campus, you know, and then she would say, what college campus? No, I don't remember that. You know, she wouldn't remember very specific details that she would have passed if she ran the marathon normally, you know. It started to get a little weird, you know, and it's very strange because from the get-go, when she crossed the finish line, she actually looked surprisingly radiant. You know, she wasn't coated in sweat, you know, she wasn't drenched in sweat and panting, you know, like wheezing, out of breath, about to die. Her hair wasn't unkempt. Her hair was actually very well done, you know. Her makeup was very well applied. She didn't look like somebody who had just run a marathon, is the point, you know. She looked like somebody who just, you know, came out of the crowd at random a few feet before the finish line and just ran across the finish line, you know. That's exactly what she did. It was later found out, through a series of events, one of which was, this one was really the nail in the coffin, because the woman who actually won the marathon, her name was Jacqueline Gravio. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but when she won, she claimed to have been ahead by 18 miles. So she passed the 18-mile mark and she won the race. She was there cheering, but the people around her said that she didn't win. Another woman did, But wait a second. How did somebody else win if she was in first place the whole time and she didn't see anybody else pass her? That didn't make sense. The same thing when the second place winner came, who was also a woman, who came in at the 17-mile mark, and she said the same thing, I didn't see this woman here who claimed to have won. And actually, the rabbit hole started to get deeper and deeper because nobody who ran the marathon recognized her at all. Not a single person who participated in the marathon remembered seeing Rosie Ruiz, especially at the starting line. When everyone starts together, you kind of get to know each other, you meet people, you see their faces, and not a single person who participated in the marathon recalled seeing Rosie's face at all. This, coupled with the fact that she couldn't remember specific details about the marathon itself and that she didn't look like somebody who just ran a marathon, led to there being an investigation, and that's when we found out that she actually did not run the entire marathon. Throughout much of the marathon, she actually took subways and cabs to get further ahead of the other runners. So obviously it makes sense for her to finish with the record time that she did. And boy, did that blow up the news outlets everywhere.
So this was actually her second ruse, and she almost pulled it off. Her big mistake was coming in first. The media rushed to her side, but soon it became apparent that she was a not-so-great imposter.
We're here with the women's winner. She's getting a case of the sneezes. Rosie Ruiz? Okay. Sorry. Rosie Ruiz, the women's winner in the Boston Marathon today with a time of 2:31 and change. Now, we don't know how many seconds that is. It may be a new American record. What was the time in your first ever marathon, and where was it?
Now, here's the thing, guys. I obviously don't condone you lying to anyone, If you can, try to always be an honest person, If you are faced with a situation in your life where it seems like lying would be better for you to not face any consequences, honestly, just don't say anything, because it's better for you to not give out the truth than to lie. There is a difference. People say that the omission of truth is still a lie. It's not. You're only lying when you say something that when you take the truth and you change certain details to fit a different narrative, then you are actively lying. But if you just don't say anything, you're not lying or telling the truth. You're just not actively participating in anything. So it's really weird because this woman had to have been the stupidest human being ever to have existed on this planet, because she really thought she was gonna get away with it, because in her head it probably seemed like the perfect plan, because dude, there were witnesses that saw her coming out of a crowd of spectators, so she was standing there waiting for the right moment. Then she would emerge, run a little bit, then probably fall back into the crowd, take a break, drink some water, There are photographers who saw her coming out of the subway, seriously. And it's weird because she did not appear in any video footage, of her before the finish line, so there was no registry at all. There was literally zero evidence that would suggest that she actually came in first place. And yet she tried anyway. She didn't even try. How can you be so stupid? And we're talking about the 1980s, man. Where imagine doing that today in 2021, where literally every millisecond is registered and uploaded onto YouTube or goes viral on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. It's impossible for you to cheat, in an age like today. So why would you even try? Seriously, it doesn't make any sense, because. As I was researching this story, I eventually there's a whole sob story, because she came from a poor family, a poor community in Cuba, and never amounted to anything in her life, so that's why she wanted some recognition. Okay, well, you got it, babe. She definitely got a lot of attention, for all the wrong reasons. But why not actually try to run the marathon? Even if you come in 5th or 8th or even 10th, even last place, man, you're gonna get a lot more recognition by finishing honestly than actually doing it the way you did. It doesn't make sense. And she actually died in 2019 from cancer, you know, so it wasn't really anything related to that. But it's weird because obviously they stripped her medal, you know, the same way they did it to Lance Armstrong, although that's a different topic. I'm going to get into that in another video. But we're talking about somebody who actively, because it's really weird. Like, imagine her reaction, you know, like when she crossed the finish line, you know, and she was receiving the recognition. People were taking photos of her and congratulating her. Like, you know, that little voice in the back of your head that tells you not to do wrong stuff. Like, did that voice not tell her, like, I don't understand. Like, does she not have a conscience? Like, how the hell can the voice in her head have told her, you know, this is gonna work, this is gonna work, this is gonna work, you know? How? Like, was she even surprised when everyone found out? I mean, seriously? It just doesn't make any, I can't wrap my head around this stupidity, dude. Now, aside from taking away that title, they also took away her win in the 1979 New York City Marathon, you know, because, I mean, I'm not sure if there was evidence in that case, but I'm pretty sure she cheated too. Because if you're going to cheat the Boston Marathon, you know, you definitely cheated the New York one too. So they stripped her of all of her titles, you know. And honestly, I mean, and she's a woman she's not exactly honest, you know. She's been in and out of prison a few times. She's committed a few petty crimes, you know. So she's not exactly an honest person, you know. She's not really trustworthy. So it would make sense for, even if there was no evidence, like me in the position of the committee who did this, I would do the same thing. I would also take away her victory in the previous marathon, you know, just out of precaution, you know. And I try to imagine, like, this woman definitely spent the rest of her life not being trusted, you know, because how do you give someone like this a job? Like, how do you know they're not going to steal money from the safe or something? You know, I personally would not try to have any kind of relationship with her at all. I really hate people who lie. I really do, you know. And that's coming from me, man. When I was a youngster, I used to lie a lot, you know, especially to my parents, you know. I used to lie to everyone just to get ahead, you know, and try to make myself look cooler than I really was. So I understand that it might feel good, you know, if you tell a lie that makes you inflate your ego a little bit, you know. But I mean, you lied to so many people in an event that was being telegraphed live, you know, and there was so much evidence. There were so many ways that you could be caught in your lie, you know. I mean, you didn't even try, you know. You're not like the guy who The Great Gatsby was inspired by. No, not that guy. I think, yeah, that and Catch Me If You Can. There was this one guy, I forgot his name, who was so good at what he did at lying. He was able to manipulate so many details around him. You know, fake signatures, fake college diplomas, fake resumes, fake a bunch of everything. You know, the guy was so good that he would get in and he would be arrested and escape jail through his own means, you know. And today he works as a consultant for the government. So I'm gonna get into him in a different video. But the point is, there's no logic in this at all, you know. And this woman is gonna go down in history as the biggest cheater in any sports ever, you know. Until I find somebody who did something worse, I'm gonna maintain that Rosie Ruiz is the biggest cheater in all of sports history. Whether or not you consider marathons a sport, you know, she still cheated, you know. Man, that's even worse than Lance Armstrong, because there is a whole controversy there that everybody was doping, not just him, you know. And it's actually normal for athletes to use certain kinds of performance enhancing drugs, you know. I mean, you can't be a normal person and be an athlete like Lance Armstrong. But I'm gonna share my opinions about that in the video when I get to it, you know. But seriously, in this case, it was just dumb, dude, you know. Oh god, how the hell she thought she could get away with it is just hilarious, man, you know. And it's weird because there are a few other things here that I'm gonna read for you guys, you know. Here's the thing. She maintained in 2000 that she still ran the entire marathon, but she didn't, you know. Like she admitted to another person that she cheated a few months later, you know. So that's not real. Like, it recalling that she jumped out of the crowd, not even knowing that the first woman had even gone by yet, you know. It's just really dumb. And it's weird because she was just as shocked as anyone when she came in first. So she was surprised that it actually happened. She tried to do something. Like, would this have still been suspicious if she came in second or third? Yes, probably would be. But because she came in first place and didn't look anything like somebody who did, is just you know, guys, seriously, be honest, you know. Don't ever cheat, don't ever lie to get ahead in life, because if there's one thing my own father taught me, you know, it's that the truth always comes out. No matter what, it will always come out, you know. So you can try to lie as much as you can, you know, for as long as you can, but sooner or later the truth will come out, you know. Let that be a lesson to all of you. And that has been today's video. Now, I've rambled on enough about this bastard woman, you know, who cheated so many people. I feel sorry for the people who actually prepared and took the thing seriously and came in the first few places, you know, like really proud of themselves, you know. And freaking Anyway, that's it, guys. That has been today's What's the Damage. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, and please subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying these videos. I'm already going towards 500. These next few hundred are going to be very special, very cool, some different stuff for you guys. And if you happen to enjoy this video, give it a like. If you watch more than 2 or 3 videos and you enjoy them, if you watch multiple videos and you enjoy them, you really should subscribe at this point. It's gonna help me out a lot, to get this channel monetized. It's gonna be awesome, guys. Make some money and give back to the community through charity live streams. That's my dream. But anyway, that's it. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.